Alright, what's going on YouTube? I'm here to explain how you can add a aftermarket radio to 2014 through 16 Silverado Sierra. It's all going to be the same thing. There's really only one video on YouTube and they don't even really explain it well enough. Everybody else usually just adds the GM bigger screen. So this is what I had before, and just kind of got tired of the small screen, so I wanted to add something that was touchscreen that's a little bigger that I could hook up a backup camera to. The GM option, going with the bigger screen, is well over $1,000. So this altogether, I have about $350 into, and I will link everything that I used in the description. The wiring harness, the head unit, everything that needed to make this possible, I will list in the description. There's a few things I want to share that will definitely help some people out, because I went into this kind of blind. So first off, when you take this off, you're gonna have to pry up here, and then you're gonna have 4 bolts you have to take out. Once you get this piece taken off, you're going to see 3 things inside of here. The first thing you're going to see is this piece, and I think this is the actual radio itself, because the radio and the screen is completely separate from each other. So this is the first thing you're going to see. The second thing you're going to see, which is still in there, is it's going to be a silver box. It looks just like this, and that has to be some kind of computer. The third thing you will see is the CD player. So I thought you could take all 3 of those out, hook up your wiring harness for your new stereo, and be good to go. Well, after I took all 3 of those out, hooked everything up, I started getting service, StabiliTrak, service forward drive, all these things came up on this screen over here. All these things came up, and then my truck wouldn't start. So come to find out, that silver box that's inside of here, you need that has to be plugged in. But in order to make this fit, you have to cut out some plastic behind there. You're gonna have to cut all that out, which it took me about only 10 minutes. It was actually pretty simple. I just took a small saw and just cut both sides, and then after I cut both sides, I took a pair of pliers and just snapped it off from there. Once you have all the plastic cleared, you're going to take the computer and you're going to have to wedge it near the bottom. After you do cut out the inside of the dash to make this fit, you will no longer be able to put the stock stuff back in. These actually clip in to those pieces that you actually cut out. So if you did have to put it back to stock, you would just basically have to stack all that stuff on top of each other and somehow secure it, because nothing is going to snap in like it should. The HVAC panel will completely unsnap from this, and it just snaps right into there. It's very simple. You can also add the ability to still keep your OnStar, your steering wheel controls, and your XM. You'll need a box to plug in to keep your XM. Even though your truck may have already came with XM, you still have to have this box. The second thing, you can still keep your steering wheel controls, but you also have to buy a little box to plugs in, and I will also link those down below. And if anybody was wondering, this is a Pioneer AVH X4800BS. You can buy a micro bypass, and what that lets you do is that will let you be able to watch movies while in drive, or to be able to get to some of the important settings while in drive. You used to be able to just ground out the parking brake, but you can't do that anymore. Pioneer requires a on-off-on pulse. The micro bypass makes it think that it's in park. It works really well. It's pretty cheap. The wiring harness I bought retains the chime, but I will say it sounds way different than stock. So the backup camera, you will have to run a wire from your reverse light all the way up into here, and as you can see, it works pretty good. That pretty much sums everything up. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below.